guys, Doug B here, your average axe-wielding hack. Recently, I had a request from the Analog Kid to see if I could recreate the David Gilmour sound on sound effect using the Fractal modelers. Well, I replied something to the effect of, absolutely, sounds great. Excellent suggestion. And then I realized I had no idea at all what he was talking about. I had never heard of the David Gilmour sound on sound effect. So I had to do some research, and here's what I found. The David Gilmour sound on sound effect allows you to more or less cover the beginning of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, part 1 through 5, all by yourself. No keyboards necessary. The most basic explanation is that in the analog world, you'd need 2 delays, a volume pedal, and 2 amp rigs. You'd play the G minor chord, then use a volume pedal to send the signal to 1 amp that has a delay that either repeats over and over again or has a freeze function. Then you would solo over the G minor using the other amp rig with a shorter delay. Then you'll switch back to scene 1 to play the next chord in the sequence. Well, okay, so how do we set this up? Well, if you wanted to replicate this, you would have to leave out the FM3 because it only has 1 amp block. But do we actually have to use 2 amps to do this? I'm going to try putting a preset together using the FM3, because then you could easily use the same preset on an FM9 or Axe FX3 with no problems. Time to hit FM3 Edit. We'll start with Quick Build to get the basic elements put together. The basic layout will only take a minute or two, but then we have to figure out what goes on in each block. First of all, we start with the in 1 block, then the out 1 block. Connect them. Okay. Now, take drive 1, put her here. Take amp 1, put that here. Take cab 1, put that there. Take chorus 1, put that there. And take delay 2, put this here. And then take reverb and put it right at the end. Now, we'll add a vol pan block right up here. Let's see, a delay block right above cab, that's delay 1, and then chorus 2 right above this delay block. Okay, now we get out a Quick Build, and how do we connect this stuff to this? Well, first of all, we go like that, connect that, okay? Now we go here and click there. And now from the chorus block, we go here to right here. In order to do this right, you will also need either an FC controller or an external switch that you can use to switch scenes. Otherwise, the frozen chord will repeat until you change the preset. You do not want that, trust me. Okay, so let's go to the vol pan block. We'll use the volume type in channel A. Right-click on volume so the edit modifier panel comes up. Click on source 1, choose external 1. Now that's assuming that you've already set up your expression pedal as external 1. Now close the Edit Modifier panel. In the Delay 1 block, choose Digital Stereo as the type, set the time to 420 milliseconds, then set Feedback Left and Feedback Right to 100%. That means it'll repeat forever. And since you'll be using the expression pedal to fade into the delay, you won't hear the attack of the pick. That's how you create the pad that you solo over. Now change the mix to 30%. Now go to channel B, have digital stereo there, time 420, but feedback set to 50%, and then also the mix at 30%. We'll get into this in a minute. So now click back to channel A. Okay, the chorus block was added so that the held chord has a little bit of movement to it. We'll use the analog stereo type in channel A. Okay, now we'll go back down to the bottom line here. We'll go to the drive block. Now the drive block is optional, but I'm using the clone Chiron. Okay, I've changed the gain to 0.5 and changed the treble to 6. Going to the amp block, using the high power normal in channel A. Now, if we take a look at the speaker impedance curve, it's a 4x12 high power. So let's take a look for that in the cab block. Let's go, we go to picker. Let's search for power. There it is. Legacy number 42, a 4x12 high power. And we'll use that in channel A. Now I also added the chorus 2 block so that the solo has a little sparkle. We'll use the analog stereotype in channel A. And in the delay 2 block, I have the time set to 500 milliseconds. Finally, for the reverb block, let's go with the concert hall in channel A. Now you've probably noticed that all of the blocks in this preset are using channel A except for the delay 1 block. It's also using channel B. So let's set up our two scenes. Both scenes will use all blocks. Scene 1 uses channel A of the delay, and we'll call that freeze. Scene 2 uses channel B of the digital stereo block, and we'll call that thaw. Okay, now we'll name this Gilmour sound on sound. Hit enter and hit save. So now why do we have the two blocks called freeze and thaw? Well, when you use the expression pedal to add input signal to scene 1, you are basically freezing that signal, as it has no attack and loops endlessly. In order to stop the loop, you'll switch to scene 2, which allows the frozen loop to fade out. Then you'll switch back to scene 1 to play the next chord in the sequence. Now I'm sure that there are alternative methods, but this one comes very close to the analog method without having to use two amp blocks. It tops out at 67% of the CPU, so we're in no danger there. And the only thing you need besides the FM3 is an expression pedal and a switch that you can use to switch scenes. And the single coil guitar of your choice, if possible. To test it out, have your expression pedal pulled back in the heel down position. Strum a G minor, then press down/forward on the expression pedal and leave it down for about half a second, then bring it back down to heel down. You should now have a frozen G minor chord playing, and you can do your Gilmour solo over it. When you're ready to change chords, switch to scene 2, but don't play anything. This allows the frozen G minor to fade out. Then you'll switch back to scene 1 to play the next chord in the sequence. Now, this request was quite the challenge for me, and the preset that I made is really not good enough that I could charge for it, but hey, I can put it on Axe Change, and you guys can take it, and maybe someone else can make it more elegant. That would be absolutely great. Let me know how that goes for you if you do that. Next Wednesday will be part 3 of my Preset Building 101 series, and we'll be looking at the delay and reverb blocks. Now, you do not want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you next week.